welcome to my channel. So today I want to show you how I made my wedding dress. So the first thing I did was to start with the skirt part. I actually started with the top part, so I'll be showing you that later on. So here is the skirt part. So it's like an inbuilt corset dress. So I'm going to make a skirt, then a top. So I'm going to be joining it together to make a dress. So here I am starting with the skirt part of the dress. I hope you understand that. So if you look at the pattern, I made the pattern up to like the knee point, so I actually had to like do some freehand there. If you don't know how to work with freehand, you can use the slash and spread method to achieve that. Just look at the way I placed the pattern and how I was able to achieve the width of the mermaid. So I think for the width I used like 22 inches. um so if you're working on yours, depending on how wide you want the end parts to be, you can go ahead to just cut it like that. So here is the lining. So what I did here was, after I cut the lining, I placed it on my body. I tried to look at how the shape was coming out. So once I was satisfied with the shape, I went ahead to cut another line. So I'm cutting two linings. So one is going to be for the underlay for the lace, then the other lining is going to serve as the lining which I'm going to use to turn the first part. So I hope you understand that. So here is the back piece. So the back piece is 2, so I went in to cut 2. So here I already cut out the lace parts with the previous lining that I cut. So here is the front part. I'm just placing it together to show you what it looks like. So here was the bum that I did. So I used the foam material to achieve this. I actually have a tutorial on how you can achieve that, so you can check my channel. I'll drop the details in the description box so you can check it out. So the bum gives your dress a more fitted look. So depending on how more you want to go in with the extra bum, so I would advise you make it natural. So I added like 3 inches to mine. So my hip was around 39, so I added like 3 inches, so it was around 42 when I was done with the bum. So here was what it was looking like when I placed it, when I finished fixing it to the skirt part. So here is the top part of my dress. Remember I said I was going to be joining it to the down part, so I have a detailed tutorial on how I explained how to achieve that. So one thing I did here was, after I had done cutting the top part and the skirt part, here I had already joined it together. So I pasted lace patches on all parts of the top part. Remember the top part was plain, so I needed to place lace patches on them to achieve the design I wanted. I used pins to secure it in place, then I started untacking. So it's a lot of process. I'm so sorry I forgot to film the process of placing the lace trims on the body of the dress. So I carefully placed the lace trims, making sure that it forms the shape that I wanted, and when I was sure, I used the pins to secure it. So you're going to be using pins like every step of the way to hold down the lace trims. So when you're done, when you're satisfied with what you have, so you can now go in with your needle and thread to start attacking. So if you notice in the video, I still have pins all over the dress. So once I was tacking, as I was tacking, I was removing the pins. So when you're tacking, as you're tacking, you start removing the pins along the way. So you don't just remove the pins, you might lose the original design you achieve. So you just take your time, start attacking, then as you're attacking, you're removing the pins. So one other thing is the thread I used invisible thread for the tacking, so you don't want your thread showing in the dress. So I used invisible thread, and also the needle I used the tiny beading needles to make my work more easier. So this is actually a lot of process, like it's a lot, like the tacking never ends. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of work. So you'll be ready to do this. It takes a lot of time. Like most times I forget to place the my phone and film the process, because I get stressed mostly most of the time when I was doing this. But it was fun though, because I was happy that I was making my wedding dress. This was actually the dress that I knew that I started on my own from top to like bottom. Everything I made sure I did it myself. But for my engagement and my reception dress, I did it, and I had my students untack the bead for me, because it was too much. I had to make my Ashwebi girls dresses, my sisters, my little bride. It was a lot of work for me, and everything was all in the space of like 3 weeks. I had to get them done, so it was a lot. So going back to the dress, I'm still attacking. If you notice, I'm attacking everything, like all parts of this dress is intact except the skirt part. I actually made the decision to only sew the skirt part with my machine, because it's going to be a lot if I start attacking the skirt part as well. So if you want to start attack your skirt part as well, you're going to make sure that you place that's like another method on its own. Maybe I'm going to be doing a tutorial on that later, but for this dress I only attacked the upper part, which was the blouse part of the dress. So if you can see, I am now working on the bust area, so I'm just taking it step by step till I finish. As for the net area, if you notice in the base part of the video, the net area too, I had to place the lace patches all over it, and attack it. You're going to attack the skin net too, because you don't want all your gums showing in your dresses, especially when you dry clean it, and you don't want any stains on your dresses. And one other thing I did here was I used the big eyelet for the back of my dress. I would not do that next time, because I would rather use maybe like a rope or something for the back, since it's going to be a corset back. Because after I dry cleaned it, it had some stains that I didn't like, and I had to go back in to had some trims to cover the parts that has the stains. Thank god it was not much, and it was something that I could easily fix. So here is what I was telling you. You can see when I opened the zip, the corset part was going into the hip part of the dress, so it's it's it gives it a more snatched effect. So that was how I was saying the inbuilt corset. That was what I did there. So here is the sleeve part. You can see I used the skin net for that. So you're going to need the color of the person you're working with. Just place your lace trims, and tack. You're going to need to untack everything. So there I was just going into remove the stones. I placed some stones on this dress earlier. So one thing was, when I placed it, so it was just scantily. I just wanted to see how it looks like, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the stone, so I had to remove it. So that was what I was doing here. I was just removing the stones. So I placed it on the sleeve area as well, so I just made sure I removed them, because it wasn't giving me what I want. It was looking like it was too much, and the stones was actually like covering the design on the original wedding dress, as in the original wedding material, the lace material. So the lace material already had like this shimmer effect to it, so like I just felt like there was no point in adding more stones. So like the stones was like covering the designs of the fabric, and I didn't want that, and I also didn't want it too much at the same time. Just something very simple, but at the same time catchy and unique. So that was what I wanted. So here I was just trimming out the excess sorry. So I was just trimming out the excess skin net material that was on the edge of the sleeves. So the same way I placed I did the first one, I did the second one the same way. So what other thing did I do here? So okay, that was the stones. I was just showing you what it looks like. So here I went back in because I still wasn't sure if I should, place the stone or not. So I just went back in to, place the stone again after I'd removed it. So I placed it back and I tried to check it from the camera. So I went back to my phone, to the back of my phone. So I checked it, and I still did not like it. So since I did not like it, so I just had to remove it. So the dress was already giving me the shiny effect that I wanted. And one other thing I did was the lining that I used for, the lace fabric. I bought, there was this shimmery lining. No, it was like a net actually. I think it's mostly used for ball dresses. So it has like this shimmer effect. So I placed it under the lace material, so it was under before the lining. So I used dotches for the lining. Remember, I cut two lining. So before I cut the first lining, I cut the shimmery fabric. I cut that first. I'm so sorry I did not film the process of that. So it was just too much. It was a lot of work. Actually, it was a lot of work. So I just wanted to, pull you guys in, like let you guys feel like part of the process that I did in making my and here I was just attacking the hook and eyes. So let's see how the dress turned out. Now look at my dress. Look at my dress. So look at it. Just look at the details. Like I didn't need any extra stones. Look at it. It's shiny, right? Just look at how I placed the lace patch on, the chest area, the sleeve, the body, the top part, everything was intact. Can you tell? So just that was just the process of making my dress, and it actually turned out beautiful. So here my friend was just helping me snatch the back of the dress, and I was just feeling myself, like the new bride that I am now. So you can see my hip was looking all natural because I did not add too much to it, and I was just feeling myself here, just dancing, vibing and all that. So here was my dress when I had added the veil to it, because I needed to add a veil because it's actually a nikah wedding. So I'm like, so here's what everything was looking like. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. Like the video. Thank you. Bye bye.